What are all the ways you could tip over on an electric trike or regular trike? Stick around. Hey everyone, I'm Dustin. I have 20 years experience in the bike and e-bike industry, and today we're gonna answer the question, what are all the ways you could tip over on an e-trike or a regular trike? Now, before we get into it, hit that subscribe button below, stay in touch with us here at 630. Be the first to know about all the new content we're putting out, giveaways we're doing, and of course, new product releases. All right, right here, I've got 3 electric trikes from 630, our relaxed body e-trike, our easy transit fat tire, and our simple glide fat tire as well. All 3 are linked in the description, and you'll see them tagged in products in this video as well. Now, we sell a lot of electric trikes. It's one of our focuses. And we also sell a lot to the over 60 crowd. And I can't sugarcoat it. Accidents happen in all things you do in life, whether it's walking, sitting, falling out of chairs, riding bikes, riding e-trikes. Now, I actually am in a lot of forums on Facebook. If you don't belong to them, there's a lot of really great Facebook groups around adult trikes, e-trikes, and of course our 630 peddlers groups as well. You could join those and hear the conversations going on about the trikes, e-trikes, all things related. And there was a really interesting post the other day about tell your story of how you've crashed your tricycle. And it was interesting because it had a lot of comments. And I will say there were a lot of comments where people said, I've never crashed, just take it slow around the turns, easy to do if you're just cautious. On the flip side, there was a lot of people that said, crashed my first time out, never crashed again. And so I was reading through all the stories, and I just wanted to share some of the more common occurrences on how falling off or tipping over on a e-trike or trike happens. Okay, so number one of the most common ones is taking turns too fast. So when you come into or corner on an electric trike, you need to take the turn much slower than you would take on a 2-wheel bike. So if it's your first time riding a tricycle as an adult, you definitely need to know that it steers quite a bit differently than a 2-wheel bike. And for many riders, it can take some getting used to. Now, it's nothing I've never seen someone get the hang of. Some people get it right away. Some people it takes a couple hours. Some people it takes a couple days. You really have to retrain your brain to understand how the steering and balance on a trike works. So if you come into that first turn too fast, you're gonna lift wheels up and there is a possibility of tipping over. So a lot of people commented their first tip over crash was because they took a turn too fast. Now, another way I saw is somebody, multiple people going horizontal across an angle. So this would be if you were, let's say, cutting across a hill, right? So let's say your hill's like this and you're riding perpendicular to the hill. Because in that situation, right, on a 2-wheel bike, you've only got 2 wheels on the ground, you can stay totally upright. If you're coming across a very steep hill sideways, you have the possibility of that wheel that's higher up on the hill lifting up and you topple over. So, and I've made other videos on this before. If you're going to cut across a hill perpendicular, you need to be very careful. If the grade is really severe, I would say don't do it at all. If it's a slight grade, you should be fine, but you wanna make sure you shift your body weight and lean towards the slope of the hill to keep that wheel higher up on the ground. Because again, if you got that low wheel and you're sitting and all of a sudden that wheel picks up, you're gonna topple over. So this also applies to taking on driveways or other things. If you're coming up a driveway, even if you're not going fully perpendicular, but you're coming on an angle, there's going to be, the trike is gonna wanna have that wheel lift up. So if you've got uneven ground and you're coming in and too much of that weight is going away from the hill, again, you can lift up that wheel. So you wanna make sure if you're rolling up to an uneven or graded area, you're very cautious, take it slow, and make sure you're leaning into the curve in order to keep the wheels down. My best suggestion is anytime you're going up a grade, take it straight on. So if you're going up a driveway, don't come on an angle, position yourself to go up straight on so you can keep all the wheels balanced and minimize any risk of tipping over. All right, now, another common cause of tipping on a trike is hitting a curb. So several people mentioned that they came to go on a sidewalk or they made a turn and they weren't fully accustomed yet to having the wide body in the rear, and their rear wheel clipped the curb, lifting that wheel and again tipping the trike over. So something you have to be mindful of is when you take those turns onto a curb or around a corner, make sure you have ample clearance between your rear wheel and that curb, because if you don't and you hit it, it's going to unstable the trike and again, create the possibility of tipping over. Okay, another way some accidents occurred was riding too close to some shrubs or off-road terrain. And with a tricycle, again, the steering is different, right? So a lot of people have the sensation of the trike pulling them. You just need to steer and keep the wheel straight. But I saw several riders that they weren't ultra experienced yet, and they were on a very tight trail or sidewalk where there were bushes lined on either side. And they suddenly either freaked out or lost control or just, couldn't keep the wheel straight and turned it into a bush and flipped over. Now, honestly, crashing into a bush, if it's not sharp and prickly, that may be your best option if it can provide a cushy fall. But this is something I actually witness here with a lot of these cars, is a lot of people go really close to the cars and they go straight for a second, then all of a sudden they just, have a brain jolt and they just want to steer to the right or something. And so again, as you're getting used to the steering on a trike, take it slow. You may have to just give yourself some time. But again, several people that were riding had that happen where all of a sudden they just, for whatever reason, freaked out, steered a little bit too much, and they hit a bush, or one of the people actually mentioned that they hit a sign as well. So these kind of accidents can happen. My biggest suggestion is just take your time, get used to it, and don't get discouraged. I do a lot of test rides here, and many people get onto a trike for the first time and they can't pick it up like that, right? And surprisingly, some of them still can ride a two-wheel bike. They're just switching to a three-wheeler to be more safe, or they like the comfort aspect of it. And I see that they get really, really frustrated that they can't do it immediately. It's like anything else in life, right? When you first learned to ride a bike, you were very young and you didn't just learn it instantly. It took some time and getting used to. Again, learning to ride a trike, it will happen. You'll get used to it. And so don't get frustrated if in the first couple tries you're not perfect at it. Give yourself some grace, take it slow. And if you take the right precautions, which is cornering slow, being aware of your rear end, and making sure you have the hang of the steering before you get onto any narrow pathways, I'm guarantee you'll be good to go. The other thing too is if you're worried about stability, there's different types of trikes that offer a more stable setup than others. Fat tires are going to provide more stability. A recumbent style like the Simple Glide or the Relaxed Body, the longer frames provide a lot more stability. That will also decrease the likelihood of any kind of tip over or accidents. So if you have any other questions or you have some stories to share about however you got into an accident on your E-Trike, please comment below or reach out to us, the team at sixthreezero.com, or call us 310-982-2877. Don't forget, all three of these trikes are linked in the description. In addition to that, we offer a 30-day test ride your E-Trike policy. If you don't love it in the first 30 days, send it back. No questions asked, no money out of your pocket. We're also going to warranty everything for 1 year. Anything goes wrong in the first year, we'll take care of it, parts and labor. And if you want to come out for a test ride, we're here in San Clemente, California at 1046 Calle Recodo Unit K. Come out for a test ride before you purchase to ensure you're making the right choice. Also join our community. We have a Facebook group called 630 Peddlers. There's thousands of members in the group. Join before you purchase to talk to existing riders to ensure you're making the right choice. Then when you have yours, post in the group, make friends, and finally download the app to track your rides and compete on the leaderboard. So thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey or experience. Enjoy the ride.